Hi everyone, so this video is for my nursery Puggles and Cubby parents. This is just some tips that I did to maintain health and wellness in my home and sanity. I thought I would share with you some things that made life work when my kids were that age. So in my first video, I talked about meeting and coming up with what's important to you individually and you as a marriage. If you haven't listened to that, go back and check that out, because it's from that place, that discussion and what you all learn and share with one another, that's where you want to move or use to create a schedule. So my big tip for you guys is that schedules are important. There is power and freedom within schedules, especially when you're dealing with children this age. Children have no sense of time, and it's hard for them to be able to own anything that's happening in their life. So one of the ways in which they can do that, and that they can have kind of like some peace and security with like, oh yes, this, I know what's happening next, is if their life follows some sort of pattern or routine. So when it comes to scheduling, what I want you to do is I want you to think about putting that oxygen mask on yourself first. Think about, what is it that I need? What is it that we need as parents, so that we can actually then have what we need to like parent well? So think about your needs first and then your children. I know that's a very kind of backwards way to think, but it's a very healthy way to think. So for me, an example of that, I need quiet time. I needed downtime in my day every day. And so that's kind of what anchored my day, was quiet time. And I planned from that place. It was a priority. And so I trained my children to do quiet time. And so whatever that is, whatever those things are for you, make sure you know it and make sure you prioritize that within your family schedule. So things to do with kids this age. So one thing, you want to make sure that you have playtime. There is wonderful, wonderful power within play. Play is fantastic. When it comes to play, though, when your kids are with you at home, one of the things that I did was I actually limited what my kids could play with when. So I was very strategic about what they were able to play with. Let me show you some examples. For quiet time, I had Niera, who was a great napper. She naps very easily, but Leela and Lourdes not so much. So it was during quiet time where they each were given a quiet time basket. I would fill it with things that were quiet toys. They could be in their bed. As long as they were quiet, it was good. Their feet couldn't touch the floor and their mouths didn't need to open. So examples of this, like here's a little soft globe world, toys, soft toys, books. This is you can see how well loved and used this book is. All my kids love Biscuit. And oftentimes I would have just like a little snack in there that they could use too. And I changed the things up in here, so it wasn't the same thing every day or every week, but quiet time baskets were something that they looked forward to, and I would pull this out only during quiet time and put it on their bed. So that's an example of something that I did for quiet time. A lot of you all work, and I know that I still was working or had things to do. So one of the things that I did with my kids is I trained them, it was called blanket time. And I would take my blanket and lay a blanket on the floor right beside me, and I would have certain toys that they played on the blanket time, toys that I knew would occupy their attention span, that they were really excited about. But I only let them play with those toys during blanket time. And so I was able to work or have conversation, and they were right there. They had to stay on the blanket. The blanket was like an island, and play with their toys. And this worked very well for my kids during that time. Another thing that's a great, like if you're just like, I need some time to just send emails or have a cup of coffee or whatever, sensory boxes. Sensory boxes were a friend in the Grant household. So sensory boxes are just boxes. It's stuff you can use and find around your house. This is an example of a box that I would do with them where they would wash rocks. I used just a plastic bin. I try to find ones that have a lid on them. And they would go out and like collect rocks from the yard. And I had in the boxes different sponges, textures of things that they could wash the rocks with, and then they would lay the rocks out. We would do this repeatedly, guys. But you can put anything in sensory boxes. The web has tons of ideas of different things you can put in a sensory box. Another sensory box idea that was very popular for my girls was salt, and they would just make shapes and letters. Okay, dress up. I mean, who doesn't like dress up? Now, I'm a house full of girls. Oh, did I lose my hat? But I love a little bit of dress up in my life. So, like, pull out old dresses, shoes, and just, you can fill a box, and that can be an activity box that comes out. And the kids can dress up. Boxes, we just keep boxes of delivery boxes because the kids can make forts. They can do all kinds of creative things with boxes, and their imagination can run wild. So when it comes to play, I think the main thing that I want to say to you is really think about organizing your play and the options that you have during your day. So really match it, try to match it well. So if you're like, I need to work, try and give them options that will entertain them long enough so that you can get through your work. But do not let them just have access to all the toys and all the play, because they're going to go through it very quickly and they're going to be bored with it quickly, and it won't be as exciting. Okay. Also, lots of reading. Be outside a lot, as much as you can, and mainly enjoy your kids and enjoy this time that you have with them. So if I think of more tips and things that I have, I will definitely share with you. But this is a great place to start. And if you have ideas that are working for you in your home, especially with your little ones, please share it and we can pass it along. Thanks so much. And I do look forward to seeing each and every one of you soon. Bye.